So anyways, the signs on Rich Road, we need to have a resolution that has to come from the board for me to put up those signs. And all that's gonna do is basically take the truck traffic off of them. And it will give law enforcement, you know, a handle to do that. Can we control the cars? No, I can't. We're gonna put signs up. We put the signs up, it will be pictorial signs with trucks on it, with a circle with a cross through it, and then sign below it, you know, local traffic.
Do the motion to that effect?
And if you want to do Swart Hollow, you know, we can do that too. There's no, you know, it's just going to be the price of the signs. So, do them separate. That's probably the best way is to do it. Each one of them separate if you're going to do that.
I'll make a motion.
Dwight made the motion for Dock Ridge Road. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. And we'll hold off on Swart Hollow at this time.
Yeah, that's not, you don't have a, a ton limit on that, it's just no truck
Right.
through traffic, right?
The big thing is get up there and hopefully work the potholes out.
Yeah, I mean, trucks aren't gonna do the S-turns on the other side anyway, most likely.
Right, right.
At least they won't do it twice.
If it stays dry, we'll be up to Swart Hollow probably within the next couple of days anyways to get that straightened around too, hopefully. The next one is, last year we have a new regime in New York State DOT that thinks that they can remove roads as they see fit out of my inventory. And I found one that they had done away with. I need a resolution to get it put back on. And that's Sandley Road Spur. It's a road that goes out to Mass. Taggart's. They did everything, setting in Albany, doing it with cameras, and figured it was a private road, so they took it off. So I need to get that put back on. It's 0.13 miles, 684 feet long. That's it. So I need a resolution so we can get that back on.
What was that? You said it was 1.3 miles?
0.13.
Okay.
Yeah, 686 feet long.
600.
I'll make the resolution, put it back on.
I make a resolution that stays on, so I don't have to plow it.
How's the turnaround at the end? Good, it doesn't sound like.
Not fun.
I'll second it.
Need both of them in writing, you know, so they're, especially this one, so I can give it
For
to,
the state.
yeah,
And the other one for the sign you need in writing, you need that resolution in writing for the signs.
yeah,
Okay.
just so it's on record.
Yep.
And,
And there's a first and there's a second.
Yeah.
All in favor of getting a resolution to reinstate Stanley Spur?
Aye.
All in favor? Carried.
next one. Reminder, qualified abandonment, DB and DeMund Road, May 22nd, public hearing here.
Yeah,
At 7:30.
it is, okay, okay.
Because I think Jim's gonna meet on the 23rd. I think the board assessment review is scheduled for the 22nd.
Yeah.
But if the assessor has more than one town, he can change, and I think he changed Franklin to the 23rd,
Yes, he did.
Okay.
because he's got Hancock and Franklin, so Hancock must be on the 22nd. And the 23rd they'll be here. Last year we had a nice day, we had an open meeting out on the trailer. That was an insurance meeting. But
And he,
What
when
time
he's
was
doing
that?
the
7:30, May
thing in
22nd.
the paper, right?
Yeah, everything is taken care of, you know, as far as,
7:30?
yep, 7:30.
yeah, Wayne's taking care of all the public announcements or
Yep.
advertising or whatever.
And all of the letters went out to all the people within that area that own property.
What's there, like 4 of them?
I believe 4, there was more than I thought there
I've
was.
heard 2, I've heard from 2,
Yeah.
and they have an issue with it.
So that's it. Landfill, we got notification they were coming in to check our old landfill. They came in March, or the 24th of May. Jamie was with them, went down, they went through, you know, taking pictures, looking. It's all about the Clean Drinking Water Act and stuff. They just want to check to see if it's leaking. The one nice thing about ours is we got all the test wells. So they measured them, checked them. I have kept the paperwork since '94 when we had all of that tested, so there shouldn't be any issues. But that was DEC asked permission for them to come onto the property.
24th of March.
May.
April.
April.
Yeah, excuse me. Wow. So that was done. Now comes the fun part. Grader. The other day we were doing some stuff with the grader, servicing it, pulled the plug on it, had a lot of metal filings in it. So,
Motor?
no, transmission. So we started doing some looking around, calling and stuff, so we ended up taking it up to Vantage Equipment. We had Clark's taken up there. We've got estimates all over the place. We got them from 14,000 bucks right on up to, what was the high figure, Jamie? 52,000. So Jamie was up there taking the equipment back. He went out, taking the 2 rental pieces back, and he drove up there to Vantage, and they hadn't done anything other than pull the filter. We were told that they had it all tore apart and everything. So Jamie called them, told them, put the filter back on it, put the oil back in it, bring it back. We're going to bring it back. We're going to run it. We've been pretty much told that there's parts out there for it. What's going on with it right now? Might last, might not. We're going to run it. And we brought the rental grader back with us yesterday because I did not know where we were going to be with it. So right now we're on the clock with that. That's what was out today, running.
So somebody else got to bring the other one back?
Yeah, because that's got the high cap. You can't get it under the wires with ours. So right now, you talked to what, 3 of them, Jamie? Different or people with transmissions.
At least 3 I talked to so far, so.
So we know we can get it down, the price down. They told us that the case was broke. I don't know how you can tell the case is broke if you haven't taken it out of
Is
it.
those 2 separate hydraulic systems, one for transmission and the rest of the unit, or is it all tied to one?
That one's tied in there.
That one's
together.
tied to the single
Yes.
unit.
Yeah, and that's what you gotta be.
Yeah.
It's separate enough that if you have a problem, it won't blow stuff into the transmission.
Oh, it won't,
The
it does.
John Deere will. It will blow it all through the hydraulics and into the transmission. So we looked it up, you know, trying to find out, you know, what that grader's worth and stuff, you know. And we're in that 25 to 30,000 bucks is what it's worth right now on the market, you know. So we're gonna bring it back. We'll see what we end up with. We're not gonna push it hard. We'll just work road with it. We won't stick it in the ditches and stuff. And see where it goes right now. So, to leave money. And the last thing I have is the 31st of May we'll be taking distracted driving course and chainsaw safety through NYMER, our new insurance company, lined that up. So that will be done on the 31st. We'll be there during the day.
This be in Delhi or?
It's going to be in Delhi because they got multiple townships that they're going to cover,
Yep.
plus the county. They're doing 2 distracted driving courses. We didn't understand that, but some of the, I believe some of the county BDS and some of those are going to take that too, so, which they need to. Other than that, that's enough.
Good luck, Dave, on your healing process, right?
It's coming.
Good. So summers, we hope.
Yes, so it's summer, that's what they told us a couple months ago.
Yep, yep.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, I had a
Thank you,
full
Deb.
ankle replacement, yeah.
Oh, good.
Is that your clipboard?
No, it's still on.
Oh,
Sign in, okay. Okay. Any questions for Mark? No? Okay, well, we've looked over the proposals. What's the feeling of the board?
I think we should go with point G personally, give it a whirl.
Okay. Okay. Do we have a motion to that effect?
so moved. Second.
He's the one that's a retired auditor, comptroller's office. And,
He could save us, I mean, if it's.
he could save us money, yes.
Well, it should.
Yes, yeah. And most of the time, he probably won't have to drive up anyway, because he can send the information, Paul can send him most of the information, I would believe. But,
And this will straighten out the constant attacks that are.
well, it'll
levied
catch
against-
us up on the reports.
Okay, yeah.
Is what that's what we are planning on, yes. Yep,
That's
okay, so do we have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
A
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Okay, now, this your electric? Okay, so that's done. I did have that letter. Okay. Let's see, the planning board. I don't think there was anything that was, yes, Mike Wallace came to the planning board meeting, and he was sent to get more clarification on what he wanted to do. He was trying to divide a landlocked, part of a landlocked lot onto another lot, which is against zoning. So he had to go see what he could, how he could change his, selling, it was 19 acres to a adjoining landowner. But there were non-compliant lots. It would make a worse non-compliant lot, which in zoning is not allowed without going through the ZBA for a variance. So it was an hour and a half of discussion and community talk.
On that one,
Yeah, we just sat there and chit-chatted for about an hour and a half, yep, yep, everybody seemed to be happy. No, nobody went away, but that was last month's meeting, so whether he's coming with something on Thursday, or who is, I haven't seen the agenda or heard what's going on. I haven't heard it being canceled, so. It is out, okay, okay. I guess we're ready to open it up, or is there something?
Well, you got,
Yeah, I
well,
have a question on
Yes, go ahead.
Laura. Can we move ahead or decide what we're gonna do on the phone system?
Oh,
I handed out that sheet of paper with a couple of options.
right,
One
right,
was the Magic Jack, which had and the other one was Vonage.
okay.
Uh,
What this pertains to, the town's phone bill right now with the, assessor, the court, the town clerk, the town, the code enforcement officer, runs over $600 a month through Frontier. And Dwight has come up with some different programs that could cut it in half anyway.
Oh, by 2/3.
Yeah,
Well, and that's what we're, looking at.
we all talked about the possibility of using voice over internet, which will make a significant difference in the cost of phone service. So the longer we wait, we're just gonna be having to dish out that $676 or thereabout every month, as opposed to, I mean, the figures that I saw, top end was like maybe $200, $250 a month, tops. Less for the Magic Jack, but that is not as touted as being as functional as something like Vonage. But the advantage to the Magic Jack is that you can use regular phone system. So you could use a regular telephone, regular answering machine, whatever you have,
Right,
can
right.
plug right into it for their quote. home or modified business one. As far as dependability for the business, for the town, but we use it, it's been good for us. And it's a lot less money, I mean, you're looking at like $40 a year
Right, right.
for that, but I guess I'm a little nervous. It almost sounds too good to be true.
Do you have any experience on that, Mark?
No, but my question is what do you use them for phone lines? Still going through?
And it's
Frontier?
internet, it would be internet, and
Okay.
the advantage there would be once, I believe, Delhi Telephone is gonna give us free internet access. So that would mean that the only thing we would be paying for is the service of the telephone service that would be utilizing the internet, so it'd be voice over internet.
Okay.
So the savings would be dramatic, relatively speaking, $676 or thereabout a month compared to, if we went with Vonage, we'd be looking about, like I say, about 200 or thereabouts, I believe is what the figure was. Now with that, that's voice over internet Vonage, so that on the downside is you have to use a specialized telephone system. And the fax is called a virtual fax, so it would work through the internet, so you wouldn't need a fax machine. But you could still send and receive faxes. I know you use a fax, Mark,
Yeah, I see.
so.
I use the internet more than I use that now, but it's, some people just like it.
Yeah.
Fax, but the fax is dying. I mean, not this fax, but as far as in the business world,
Sure.
you know, pretty much everybody scans everything, sends it, not email.
You'd have to have Wi-Fi for that to work.
You have to have Wi-Fi, right, it would be voice over internet.
You'd
it's
have to
called.
do something down here, because Wi-Fi works to the back of Mark's wall,
Yep,
and that's it. It
Yeah.
doesn't go through in the shop, so
yeah.
you'd have to have some kind of booster. 'cause
Yeah, you
there's
could,
no out there.
you could set up a router, but as I understand, is there a phone back there in the garage?
Yeah.
There is?
Rings
Okay.
the same number.
Right, and you could run a wire through to it, so it's a simple fix.
Well, it'd have to be a different phone, you said.
It depends. If we went with the Magic Jack, you'd have to have a little box for each phone. Okay. If you went with the Vonage one, it's more sophisticated, and I don't really completely understand it, but as I understand, from what I have gained, you have a system where the internet comes in and just attaches to that. So, but bottom line, it's internet, so you're connecting to the internet.
What about a power outage?
A power outage, actually, the way Delhi Telephone was selling it, they have a pretty good system in place to make sure that there's not a power outage, because they have a backup.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, if we got power outage, we're probably not gonna have phone anyway.
no, with the
no,
internet, you
you
would.
do.
They have a battery.
Line.
Batteries.
It's battery
for it.
backup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Once the Wi-Fi is working, yeah, but if it doesn't, then you're not gonna get it.
No, the backup does. The backup takes care of the Wi-Fi.
Do we know anybody that's using this?
Oh, gosh, most businesses
Well, I
are
know,
going
yeah, I
to.
know a lot of people use it,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm saying. It's
I have
not
one.
always as good as,
Yeah,
as they say it is.
yeah. It's,
You cut a lot of them, you can't
right.
get it through.
I mean, look at it this way, from what I understand, we don't, the phone system here is, it's not heavily used.
Right.
I mean, the stuff that they offer is pretty amazing. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
conference
that's
calling,
all the time.
on and on and on. And the quality is pretty good.
They're getting better, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. And
Well,
so,
they can't sell it unless they get better from where they were.
yeah.
Where they were.
Absolutely, they gotta compete, so, so that's what it is. And like I say, paying $676 a month right now for the amount that we're using the phone that's outrageous.
Yeah, because that's one of the things I was gonna bring up tonight too, is that, and I hope this improves that, is that whoever I make a call to in town, I never get a response. I never get a call back.
Well, there'd be a lot more options with something like that, but additionally, as you know, maybe, I'm sure you do know, if you have a standard line in the town of Franklin, guess where you can call without getting
Only the town.
there you go.
Yeah.
So, in fact, I was talking to some at the Public Service Commission, and there was kind of there was a long period of no discussion when I said that. I don't think he believed that,
Yeah.
that he came back with.
It's a little antiquated. Usually you can get a couple of areas that you can pick up on. But
Right.
if it's not an 829 number, you're like, you're a long distance.
Right.
You get dial 607.
The other negative to Magic Jack is I'm not positive that we could transfer our existing phone numbers over. Although, according to Frontier, they said, quote, we're not gonna hold anybody hostage, but.
But they can, they will.
But yeah, so, but Vonage said they didn't think that would be a problem,
Okay.
so.
A lot of them, but a lot of them, I know my daughter's had some problems with Frontier. She had to go off of Frontier.
Yeah.
And what does she have now? She has AT&T.
Yeah.
Which is like, almost like an internet service kind of thing, good deal, go over Frontier. And they allowed her to keep her thing, but, they want her back after that fact, but it was their mistake. They, she made the payment, and they said, no, she didn't make the payment, so the bank gave them receipts, and that's all they paid. Took a year, so she finally just gave them up, and now they found that they did make a mistake. They want her back as a customer, and she don't want to know anything about it, after the hassle they give them. But Frontier is like, it has its problems, there's no doubt about that.
You'll like to hear this, that Frontier is about all of AT&T's hard lines,
Yeah,
so
yeah, they're growing.
they're growing.
Now, what do you mean we have to do with Vonage a special phone?
You have to buy,
So we have to buy
their phone.
phones, but they're phones just like the phones we have.
They were gonna work the same, but you, in other words, with Magic Jack, you could go to Walmart, buy a phone,
Right,
plug it in, and it's
Oh,
gonna
well,
work
here we
on
go.
the home version of Magic Jack.
right.
For Vonage, or the business end of Magic Jack, you have to get a voice over internet phone. So it's
So we'd have to
structured.
invest in some different phones,
So I'd have to get some
but
phones.
they would connect up.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we could connect a wire out in the shop,
yeah,
but it'd be one of those phones.
right.
Same with Paul's office, same with all these.
Right. And it would also connect to if somebody wanted to use their cell phones, it would connect to their cell phones. So again, I mean, it has options that are made for large companies that I don't think we're gonna really use, so we go for the basic one, but again, every time I see that $676 charge, I'm thinking, oh my God. I think
But like Magic Jack, we could just, but we can't guarantee we're gonna keep the numbers.
according to Magic Jack, they're not sure they can have us keep the numbers. According to Frontier, they said, quote, we won't hold you hostage. Whatever that means. So, but anyway, I guess I'm not sure how the process should work from here, but I think we've got to make a decision one way or another. We want to look more into those options or not.
Is there someone local you talk to that does the switch, or how does that all work?
With Vonage, they basically would analyze what you have and they would send you the stuff and then you just basically plug it in. And you plug it into the internet.
Do we have any idea what that cost will be?
You can lease or buy, and I don't remember what the cost. I have it written down. I don't recall it off the top of my head. Certainly, you could put everything in for less than what it's costing us per month, and then from there on, it's about $200.
So then we're saving after that.
After that, we're saving.
Yeah,
I'm probably saving even when we put that in.
that's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, so,
Well, it's you saving over
Yeah,
You'd say $400 a month for
Oh,
the
yeah.
last 6 months.
yeah.
and Vonage is very reliable.
Vonage is reliable. I mean, it's scary, we're all used to landlines, but I don't know about everybody else, but it's not unusual to have Frontier go down, and, they,
Remember, we still got Frontier for internet, so
we still
you
have,
do Vonage and
Yeah, it goes down to.
right,
Frontier could go down.
well, it's Del-Hytel.
Not yet, it's not.
No, but I mean, they're
Yeah.
gonna give us a service, so,
Right.
And right now, gosh, I hope that wouldn't happen, but I can't
They
imagine.
wouldn't hold
it
us
would.
hostage, would they?
Well, that's, hey, you know, if they wanna make us a better deal, right?
So what's the board's feeling on this?
I got Vonage, look into that, or
Look further into it?
see what we gotta get
Yeah,
for
I mean, I
equipment.
think-
Mm-hmm.
What
I
do
like
you
the
think?
idea with Vonage
It's
that,
gonna affect you guys the most.
If we can keep the same numbers though,
We can keep the numbers. I'll
Yeah.
be fine.
I
but
mean, like I say, we use it and it was a little bit unnerving, you know, going to something with the computer, but I mean, it's actually, we lose phone service less with the internet-based one than we do with the phone-based one. And that's all Frontier, but they're two different services, so.
They come in on the same line?
No, they're two different lines.
Different lines, okay.
I've learned more about that than I want to
Probably
admit
a
to.
lot
Yeah,
heavier
one comes
line.
one direction, another direction. They're totally different lines.
Huh. Okay.
So, at least where we are.
Well, if you hate it, they should take us back for $600 a month.
Yeah, you don't have to
Yeah.
stay with them.
Or we could try it on one site and not the other site, because half the phone service is
Is
in
up
the
there.
village
Yeah.
and half the service is here.
who wants to be the guinea pig?
We better not throw the court into it.
Throw the what?
We better not throw the court into it, so you said you don't have Wi-Fi up there?
I don't, no, there's no Wi-Fi.
There isn't.
We have internet.
Or we have Wi-Fi here, Mark?
If you have internet, we've got Wi-Fi.
We can
Yeah.
get that.
We got it.
They have internet up there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so. got Wi-Fi.
The only problem with Wi-Fi here is because
oh, I could.
Yeah,
it's in
just-
here and we can't get it out in the shop.
well, we can put our connector here, run a wire to the phone out there, and that'll take care of it, correct?
Or you
A
could
router.
just do a Wi-Fi booster,
Yeah.
it'd probably make more sense. Do a,
Yeah,
You're only talking through the wall. I mean, yeah, you wouldn't even need a,
well, there's,
yeah.
yeah, but hopefully if you put a booster out there, you could get it
All over.
through both walls, that'd be nice,
You could probably get it all the way around the building, yeah.
yeah.
Test hours. I never.
Well, I make a motion, to let you pursue this further.
There's a motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Dave made the motion, Karen seconded. Okay.
And Dawn, I probably should come up at some time and talk to Gary and
Jan?
you all, just to
Well,
kind of feel out exactly how it can work.
Okay.
You know the easiest way to do that?
No.
Go speed through town, so they'll give you a ticket and go
There
see
you go, I
Gary.
never thought
You'll
of that.
get, you'll be sitting right in front of him. Yes,
You get a
One thing
Thursday
to keep
night.
in mind, once you go to VoIP, which is voice over internet, you're on the internet, so you lose security unless you've got a really good security system on the computer that you're using for the phone.
Your justice may have an issue with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're not hoping just getting a, McAfee program and putting it on. You gotta see what else, if they offer some sort of.
Vonage does. And I'll find out more specifics about it, but that's one of the issues that came up and one of the things they tout, that people are not going to be able to, hack all your phone calls.
I wouldn't mind if somebody hacked my
But-
phone, but if
Right.
they're gonna hack into the, to the judge's chamber,
yeah, it's- yeah.
Yeah, but that's a good point.
some
And-
sort of security
Right.
button.
And I think not to knock it, like I say, we use it, the Magic Jack is certainly the home one. That's highly hackable.
What? You get